Today we'll be learning about the volume of cones. If you remember in 9.1, volume of cylinders, we learned that the formula was volume equals base area times height. Well, the volume of a cone is 1/3 the base area times the height. A cone is a three-dimensional figure that has one vertex and one circular base. Again, base area, capital B, represents your base area. And in this case, it is a circle, so again, we will be using pi times radius squared. So if you look at the formula, volume equals 1/3 base area times height, or volume equals 1/3 pi r squared times height, where capital B and pi r squared are the same. You can look over here, I rewrote it as volume equals pi times radius squared times height divided by 3. So you can use this format if you prefer. Remember, when you are doing volume problems, you must label all your answers with cubic units. And radius is 1/2 of the diameter. They've already worked out two examples for you, one using 1/3 and one using pi r squared times height divided by 3. So I've worked them both out. You can look at those examples. You choose which method you prefer to use. Regardless of the method that you choose to use, you can put the entire problem into the calculator. I'm going to do this first example just so you can see. So I'm going to do 3.14 times 2x squared times 8 divided by 3. Excuse me. Press enter. So we get 33.4933. So we're going to round 33.49 to 33.5 because again, it asks us to round to the nearest tenth. So if I do this one, the second example, if they give you the diameter, do not forget to get the radius. So I'm going to type in 3.14 times 4 squared times 9 divided by 3. Press enter. So I get 150.72, which to the nearest tenth would round to 150 7/10. Again, the labeling is important on the final answers. Now you try. So in example number 4, you notice that the diameter is 15, so you must get the radius, which half the diameter is 7.5 centimeters. Take the formula, substitute in 3.14 times 7.5 squared times 16 divided by 3. 942 cubic centimeters. Number 5, they give me the radius, so I don't have to do anything to it. I do 3.14 times 2 squared times 3 divided by 3. The calculator will give me 12.56. But again, I read my directions and it says the nearest tenth. So I'm going to look at the 5 over to the 6 and I round to 12 6/10 cubic feet. For her geography project, Karen built a clay model of a volcano in the shape of a cone. Her model has a diameter of 12 inches and a height of 8 inches. Find the volume of clay in her model to the nearest tenth using 3.14 for pi. So we start with the diameter, we take half of that, which would be the radius of 6. Again, you can do it this method or you can do it this method. Either one, put the entire thing into your calculator and let it do the work. Just make sure when you get that answer of 301 44/100 that you round it to the nearest tenth and put a label on your final answer. So the volume of clay is 301 4/10 cubic inches. You try example 6 by yourself. The cone of the volcano has a height of 410 meters and a diameter of 424 meters. So again, it gives us a diameter. We have to cut it in half to get our radius of 212 meters. Take the dimensions and place into the formula 3.14 times 212 squared times the height of 424, all divided by 3. The calculator will give you 19,286,968 and 53 hundredths. Again, we're going to round to the nearest tenth. So the 5 is in the tenths. When I look to the 3, it says round down to get 19,286,968 and 5/10 cubic meters. Remember to label your answers: cubic meters, cubic inches, cubic feet.